Oh my god, I hate him so much.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So ugly.
So ugly.
So
like, pick
rude.
a struggle.
No, literally. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
God. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I
So sorry, I did not see you there.
I didn't know that was happening.
I did not know that was happening. Hold space. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So,
I'm Sadie,
I'm Kaitlyn.
and welcome to our podcast.
Unfiltered. Yay! With a period.
With a period. It's
'Cause
different.
We're not like other girls.
Yeah. Our podcast is not like other girls.
Yeah. Not us, really. We're kind of basic.
No, we're kind of
Like
exactly like
everybody
other
else,
girls. Okay. So, Kate, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little about myself. We are college girlies.
Yes.
We're not telling you where we go.
Dorm, no, because some of y'all out there are not great.
So we go to college.
Yeah.
I am a film major.
I am a psychology major.
Ooh.
So, catch me in your therapy offices.
And your thoughts?
Yep, I will be there. You know
Floating
it.
around the abyss. I love college.
Oh my gosh, college. Can we talk about how much, like, it's such a basic topic, but like it is so much better than high school than I thought it was going to be.
Crazy better.
Like, when I tell you that, like, the week before graduation, the week before graduation, I was like actually like still like crying because I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna miss this place so much. And I love the school that I went to, but I was like, oh, like high school, like, you know, I'm just gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss all these people.
Yeah, me too.
The second my vice principal was like, congrats to the class of 2024, I was like,
I'm free.
this can't be happening. And then like college, oh my gosh, like a blast.
Yeah.
It is also so much easier.
Freeing.
So freeing.
Why is it so much easier?
So much easier.
All throughout high
my
school, they're
gosh.
like, you are not prepared for college. You're
this
late
isn't
to
gonna
class.
fly. This isn't gonna fly in college.
Literally.
Professors don't care.
They don't care.
They'll cancel class for anything, by the way.
Yeah, just so you know.
It's so great. Also, like for us to be like eating in class, that was a big thing. You could not eat in class.
Yeah.
And
same.
literally I think it was like my psych professor this morning. He was like, it says don't drink and eat, but like do whatever you want. Take care of yourself. I'm like,
Exactly.
y'all literally.
I have a professor and they're like, I honestly don't care when you turn in homework, as long as it's before the end of the semester.
That was like my psych professor last semester.
Like,
she was like,
awesome.
you know what? Prioritize your mental health, prioritize your sleep, and when it gets turned in, it gets turned in. And I'm like,
There you go.
okay,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I say that as if I did not use that to my advantage. I still turned in everything like strictly on time. But like,
yeah, me too.
But you know what? It at least was more peaceful. Like, it wasn't like I was like, I didn't have to. I was like, oh, I'm choosing to.
Exactly.
You know?
It makes me feel smarter. Because it's like I'm on schedule by
I feel like I'm better than everyone.
Exactly.
Like, I'm like,
I'm on schedule by my own doing.
exactly.
Like
Like, I don't have to be this way, but I am this way.
I'm such an adult.
I'm just that much better.
I'm just elite.
I'm just elite.
I'm the best of the best.
Exactly. I can't
no.
touch this.
We're not narcissists.
No, we're not. We're kidding, you guys.
We're kidding.
Yeah.
But college is so much better. So if you
It
are in
truly
high
is.
school, really look forward to it. Like,
It's good.
seriously.
Oh my gosh. Like, college, genuinely, it gets so great. Like, if it's rough now for you, don't worry. It's going to get so much better. Like,
Yeah.
you have
Keep your
please
head up.
don't peak in high school.
Do
Don't
not peak in high school.
That is the worst place to peak. I kid you. The worst thing you could do.
Except middle school. If you peak in middle school.
Oh, if you peak in middle school, I was going to say something out of pocket.
We are called Unfiltered.
Middle school was actually the worst years of my life. Forget high school.
Forget
It was middle school.
Yeah.
Middle school was the time that I literally was like, you know what? I don't think I can do this anymore. Like,
Middle school, I crashed out daily, I think.
daily. Cried in class all the time.
It was rough out there.
All the time. So, yeah.
And the teachers were so much stricter in
Oh
middle
my
school.
gosh, yeah. Sometimes it's just not that serious.
Sometimes it's not that serious.
And sometimes we are really just kids. And
Yeah, exactly. We're children. I
Yeah.
think that's my main point.
You know, exactly. Where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like, I get discipline. I totally get, like, you need to, like, you know, work hard and everything. But it's also like, I do be a child.
Exactly.
So, like, don't expect much from me.
There's
like,
a point. There's a point.
There's a point where it's like, you know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to struggle. So it's like, let me breathe. Let me live.
Let me have that experience instead of yelling, like, straight up.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is, like, that's what I'm really happy about that I had at my school was, like, when you were wrong, I had a lot of, like, great teachers where, like, it was done in a loving way or more like if you had done something wrong against school code or anything, like, it was more like, let me take you outside of class. Like, let's talk privately. I'm not going to do this in front of the entire classroom.
Yeah.
That was not always the case, but I did have a lot of teachers like that where I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I feel like you feel like cared about. It's
Yeah.
like you actually also care about me as a person. You want me to do well, but, like, I understand you need to tell me when I'm wrong.
Those are
like,
the best kinds of teachers.
No, oh my gosh, yeah. Wait, who was the teacher for you that was like you're gonna remember them even when you're like old?
I had, and I hope she's not watching this, like in a bad way.
Actually, both. Let's do both. In the best way and in a bad way.
Okay, in a bad way first. I had a 7th grade math teacher. Don't come for me. And the strictest woman I've ever met in my life.
Really?
First day of class, I come in, I sit in the front row. Don't know why I did that. I had a binder sticker. You know how they come with those stickers on
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
I had a binder sticker, and I ripped it off mid-lecture. Sent me to the back of the classroom the rest of the year.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, she got mad?
Yeah. Craziness.
Chat.
Craziness. And then the best way, I've just had some really great theater teachers because they're always so open-minded.
Okay. That's it for me. Yeah, like my best experience. Actually, let me do my worst first. I guess my worst. I gotta think about how I talk about this because
Touchy subject.
I guess the one I had a teacher who it was in middle school. He would use the entire class period to like debate students or like fight with students, which was like fine. But the second like it got too tense, it was like, okay, no, we gotta start class. But low-key, I kind of loved him for it because we at least like didn't have class time like ever.
Yeah, entertainment.
It was so much entertainment. Did I learn a thing? No. Oh, my best experience was shout out my English teacher throughout most of like high school. I think she was.
I had a really good high school English teacher.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She taught
best.
me in I think 9th, not in 10th, but in 11th and 12th. She also was like my like. She helped me with like speech and acting. So like she was like my like theater person.
Oh yeah.
Shout out her. I will remember her like when she will be invited to my wedding. I kid you not. Like I love her so much. She like has the kindest soul and like has so. I hope she's watching this. Shout out to you because
shout out.
I kid you not. Like
I don't know you, but you're the best.
Got me through so many times in high school. Like
guys, really like if you're in high school. Like, confide in your English and theater teachers.
It's always the English and theater teachers.
I mean, sometimes history. The history teachers are fun. The history teachers are fun.
Because, okay, my history teacher, he, like, when we, like, so we've had many different history teachers, but, like, we have the best conversations about, like, Gravity Falls and, like, anime. It was very random, but, like, good time. Good time.
They're pretty fun.
Well, also, I guess it's a note for teachers is, like, prioritizing like the mental health of the student.
Yeah.
Because that was life changing. For like when you like there's like teachers that you'll have, but it's like, oh, kind of like, you know, the normal thing. But when you get a teacher that like genuinely is like, obviously I care about your education, but like how are you doing? Like that matters more. I'm like, that has been life changing for me. Like amazing experience.
Awesome experience.
But yeah, all you gotta know is college.
So much better. And to loop around, just keep your head up in high school. Don't peak.
Oh, that's exactly. Also, that's the other thing about high school is like when you have beef with someone, you have to see them all the time.
Yes,
but in college, you'll never see them.
You could literally like. I'm not gonna say that. Let me find something better to say. You could literally cuss someone out to their face.
Yeah,
and baddie walk away and never see them again.
And you'll never see them again. Like maybe once at the dining hall.
Yeah,
maybe. But it's like they're not gonna come up to you.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to care. You're not going to hang out. If you have one bad friend group, go find another. Like, there's so many opportunities.
Exactly. And it's like, you can meet so many people. In high school, you meet a lot of great people. I have a lot of great friends that I'm still talking to from high school.
Yeah.
At college, the pool of people just opens up so much bigger.
Oh, my gosh,
I met Sadie.
I met Kate. Let's talk about how we met.
Yeah. Segueing. I saw the list. I was like, yes. We have a list of what we're going to accomplish today.
We do.
I can go over what I first.
Oh, yeah. What was your first impression of me? What you remember?
Remember my roommate was friends with you first. And
shout out Livy.
Brought her into the room. We'll have Livy on for an episode.
Yes.
So keep an eye out. She's sitting over there.
She smiled at us.
And yeah, so Livy brought Sadie into the room.
Yes.
And I was like laying in bed because I was not prepared for a guest.
Yeah.
And I instantly sat up and I was like, oh.
Well, your brother was with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
There.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't know that was happening.
I didn't know what was happening.
And I remember just talking to you and you were just so open-minded and like
Really?
Like, you just don't.
So sweet.
I like,
oh
in the best way possible, you don't care what other people think of you.
That,
so it's like,
actually,
I'm going to
means
speak
so
my
much to
mind.
me. Thank
Like,
you.
I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to say what I want.
You
And
probably
you don't have to like me.
My
but
IBS. I talked a lot about my IBS.
She talked about her IBS the first time I met her. You'll hear about that a lot on this podcast, probably. I get many texts about that throughout the day.
Yeah.
Just so everyone's aware.
Sorry, mom and dad. Because, oh my gosh, one time I said that to one of my friends in front of them, and my mom was like, Sadie, why would you say that? And I was like, oh.
And you're like, wait, wrong audience.
I was like, wrong audience, guys. Shout out my mom. I love my mom.
That is how we met.
Yeah, I remember actually.
Oh yeah, what's my?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I remember walking in, and like genuinely, you have been like one of the most down to earth people that I've ever met. Like you are just so. She's very chill, very open minded, and also like just very humble. Like when I talked to you, it was just a very like the first conversation I remember like just distinctly where I was like, oh, I feel like. I don't even know what the word is. It was a lot, like, you could tell, like, it was, like, you were giving me your attention. You were very, like, oh, like, I care about what you're saying. Like, I felt a very, like, a sense of, like, oh, this person cares about me and they don't even know me. So, like, also, you were hilarious.
Oh,
I remember that. Very funny.
Thank you.
Very funny.
I take pride in my humor.
I don't think I'm funny. I think that I had this, oh, no, let me get into this.
You're so real, that's why you're so funny.
I think I am funny by my experiences. Like, because I'm like, if you want me to tell a joke, I can't. And I won't. Because, like, I can't be funny on the spot. Okay, my friend Christian, shout out Christian. He, like, is just funny on the spot. Like, he, like, can make people laugh so easily. For me,
that takes so much intellectual, like, power.
Oh my gosh,
to know what's going to make someone laugh.
I would say my best friend Abby, too. Shout out Abby.
Funny people are the smartest people alive, I think.
They have to think, like, also, it takes such a high level of, like being assured in yourself and like confidence to do that. Like I personally could not. I am more funny by like I have too many embarrassing experiences. Oh, speaking of, for my first semester of college, if you ever feel embarrassed, they're gonna get a lot of that on here. I do this for my little sister where I'll be like, if you ever get embarrassed, and I'll tell you something that I've done that's definitely worse. This one's not that bad.
Welcome to our new segment. Embarrassment with Sadie.
Embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I have so many embarrassing stories. But my first week of college, I wore these super, super cute overalls. They were adorable. And I went to the bathroom, and like we said before, I have IBS, right? So that toilet was used, abused, even.
Hit and run, even.
Hit and run. I pulled one of those the other day in the bathroom in Casey.
I all of a sudden just got a text that said, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run.
So, I was in my super cutesy overalls, okay? And they're the one where the straps, they come detached. So I go to the bathroom, and I didn't know this entire time while I'm making a symphony in the toilet beneath me. My straps had fallen into the toilet. And I had to put those suckers back on because I was late to class. It's important to know I don't live on campus, so I couldn't go back to my dorm and change. So I just had to thug it out the whole day.
Get out.
And I smelled bad. Like, it wasn't even like it was just wet. I smelled bad.
Like the sewers.
Someone was next to me in class, and I heard them say to their friend, who smells like crap. I was like, oh. I remember that so distinctly.
The way they called you out. Oh my god.
That's when I knew, actually, because
That's when I knew.
Because I even, like, I was smelling it the whole day, but I became, like, desensitized to it, you know? So I thought, like, no one else can smell it.
Oh, but they could.
So I'm like, and I was there from, like, 10:30 in the morning to, like, 8 at night. So that smell was lasting all day.
Wow.
Thank God I didn't have any friends yet. So I wasn't, like, I wasn't hanging out with anyone. So I was just, like, this smelly girl by herself.
You're a trooper. She's a survivor. Oh my god, I love your wallpaper.
Oh my gosh, I just on it.
Not even to like throw the video out or the podcast off track, but I'm her phone wallpaper.
You can't. I don't know if you can see, but it's me and Kate and the rest of our group: Livy, Riddy, and Malad.
Shout out Riddy and Malad.
Shout out them.
We'll have them on at some point.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You're gonna meet a lot of people on here.
So many people. Our goal is to have guests on every week.
Oh yeah.
Probably,
Yeah, this is just the introduction, you guys. We have so much more coming. But speaking of my overalls moment, do you have an embarrassing moment from this semester? What's your most embarrassing moment?
Oh my god.
This just lets you know you're not alone.
I'm really trying to think of like a moment where I've actually cared enough to say I'm embarrassed by that.
If you don't have one right now, I have another one. It's really quick. So
go ahead.
I was hanging out with these friends for like the first time. I wonder if I don't know if they remember this. This was like maybe like my first month of college, and they were dropping me off in my car, and they were like talking about their first like romantic experiences. Okay, and they asked me if I had a specific romantic experience. Wink, wink. Which I had not. Now, if you are not familiar, there's a song that's, I don't know what show it's in. It's in some show, but you know the song that goes like, instead of just saying that, I decided these people that I barely know, you know what, I'm gonna sing it to them as if it's a musical. And that's what I did. I barely knew people when I was like, I sang it, and they didn't, no one laughed. We all sat. We sat in total silence. No one said a word. And I ended up saying, I'm so sorry. And I got out of the car.
To leave after that.
I literally was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that. And then I was like, bye. And I just got out of the car.
Wow.
We're close now, though, but we were not close then, so that was a bold move of me to pull.
Oh, you know what I'll do? Instead of bleeping out what she said, I'll put a voice distortion.
Perfect. Yeah.
So you guys can hear what she said, but
yeah.
There have also been those like obvious experiences where you're passing someone and you wave and they don't see you.
Oh my god.
Or you're calling after someone and they don't hear you. Or when someone waves
at you, or you think they wave at you, and it was someone behind you. I pulled that so much this semester.
Yeah, those are embarrassing.
And then you pull the like.
Yeah, like
the hair.
Sorry. I had this morning kind of an embarrassing moment.
Really?
I walk into class a minute before it starts. I'm pretty punctual.
Okay.
And
I am not.
It's a lecture hall, so there's a bajillion people in there.
Oh.
And we have these rolling chairs with these rolling desks. And so everyone's clumped together. And I walk in, all the seats are full, except for one seat that's in the middle of everybody. So
I would just turn around and leave.
So I walk in,
I'd be like, wrong
everybody's eyes on me. Everybody's eyes on me. And I start scooching my way through these people and my big winter coat
is your bag
because hell froze over out there. It is frigid. I'm fighting for my life every time I step out of my building.
I literally know what coat you're talking about.
Yeah,
it like swallows you whole.
It swallows me and it goes all the way down to my ankles. I actually look like I'm in like climbing Mount Everest when I'm outside. That's how crazy I look. I have my hat on, I have my gloves on, and I have my earbuds in, so I can't hear anyone.
Like she walks into class looking like she survived something.
Exactly.
Like truly,
I'm a survivor.
She is.
Like they should
from the winter storm.
You know the Survivor books.
Yes,
like I survived. Write one of them about me, okay? Because I survived this shit.
Even though people are walking around in like regular coats, Kate is trudging through the trenches.
And so I'm walking outside and the wind starts blowing. I'm like, and my roommate Olivia can tell you. She can tell you that is how I act. I'm like, when I'm walking outside. And I'm that person where if I'm walking with you outside, I will bring up how cold it is.
Oh, I did the same thing.
Like, I will say I'm cold. Even though it's obvious, I will bring it up.
Like, I'm like, oh, it's so cold outside. Or like the weather. It's not because I'm bored. It's not because I don't know what else to say. It's like, it's that cold. I can't not talk about.
I give like a full weather report. I'm like, it's supposedly 10 degrees, but it feels like it's -2. So I'm in class in my big winter coat.
Oh my gosh, yeah. How did
we didn't finish the story. Yeah. I have my hat on. And I have my big gloves on. It looks like I'm about to shovel snow. I walk into class. I've just braved the storm. And I'm like panting. I'm panting because I just speed walked there because it was so cold and I was going to be late. And I'm now squeezing my way in between these desks.
Yeah.
Like an inch apart from each other.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
My booty was definitely in someone's face.
She's got to get.
I smacked someone with my backpack at least once.
I will say it's the only like downside of college is that getting like in high school. I think when you walk into the classroom and sit down, it's not that hard. College is like if you're late,
you don't get a seat.
You don't get a seat. And the teacher's not going to be mad at you. You're not going to get a tardy. You'll just stand in the back of the class. It's just embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
You're either staying in the back of the class or you find that one seat that, like Kate, the survivor, you have to squiggle through, especially in the winter, because you do have that gargantuous, bodacious coat.
Yeah.
And there's no room. And then people just decide to not move for you. So it's just, I'm
Some
like,
people
you
are
see,
rude,
I'm like struggling. And they're like, just sitting still. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, you're hitting people in the face with your backpack and your cheeks.
And then, I plopped my booty in that seat. But you know what desks I'm talking about? There's like a desk and it's attached to the seat and they're both rolly.
Oh,
those are so hard to get into.
Oh my gosh, it's like Tetris.
Exactly. So I had to first get my backpack off of me to be able to even sit down. And then I had to slide my booty into there.
Oh my gosh.
That's definitely got to be an out of 2025, being late to class. What are some more?
Ooh, yeah.
I segued to our next topic.
You can tell that we don't do this often, but we're going to get good at it.
Yeah, we're going to get so good at it. So stick along and you could say you were here from the beginning.
Okay, so list your ins first. What are some ins for 2025?
My ins of 2025 are punctuality.
Actually, yeah.
Can we be punctual, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Oh, okay. One thing he said should be in, which I agree with, is like being cringy. And I mean that in the way that we need to acknowledge that not everything is cringy. Like, there's so many things that, like, people will just be having fun. And they're like, oh, that's so cringe.
No.
Like, you're just boring.
Let them live their life.
You are just boring. Let them live their life.
Exactly. Like, and I also think an out is embarrassment. There's no reason to be embarrassed about anything in this world ever. Everyone embarrasses themselves.
No one cares.
No one really cares. Everyone forgets about it.
I love my embarrassing stories. I love getting to tell them because that's what I'm saying. I think I'm like situationally funny. My embarrassing stories make people laugh so hard because they're that bad.
So strive to be embarrassed.
But also,
that goes hand in hand with cringe.
Exactly. I believe that if you have never been embarrassed, you just have not tried anything. Yeah. Like, if there's not one moment that you've been bold enough to do something that was a little embarrassing, and I get there are some people that never get embarrassed by anything, but like, and that's great. Yeah. But if you're someone who will get easily embarrassed, but like you were not embarrassed one time this year, what did you do?
Live your life.
Live your life.
Live your life. Who gaffs?
No one.
No one.
No one.
No one's
Literally
looking.
No one cares.
I promise you, no one is looking at you and being like,
like, that's so embarrassing.
That's really embarrassing. They should stop doing it immediately. No. Like, no. I promise you, no one cares.
There are so many people that are calling things like cringe, and I'm like, it's just not. It's not cringe.
Yeah. So let's strive to be cringy.
Strive to be cringy.
Live our lives.
Have fun.
Yeah, exactly. And let's stop being embarrassed for having fun.
Yeah. An in for me is okay. So like for context, an in for me like 2 years ago was like saying yes to every single hangout, but then I became way too overwhelmed. I barely had time for myself. I love my family. They're like my whole world, but I didn't have as much time to hang out with them. Didn't have much time just like to like decompress in my bed. So for me this year, but then last year my mistake was saying almost no to everything because I was like, oh, that was too hard. So now this year my in is striking the balance of having like time inside, time by yourself, time with your family, but also you need to say yes sometimes and go do things.
Having boundaries, but
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
A balance. That's an M.
A balance. Touch grass and also feel free not to touch grass.
Exactly.
But make sure you're seeing people and making good connections.
Period.
Ooh. I think an in for me, guys, don't come for me. Brain rot.
I agree.
Please. Can we stop calling brain rot cringy? It's so funny. And it's so expressive.
It is. Like, it's the only way I want to talk. Like, I get it.
Skivity means something different.
Skivity means something. Like, I get, like, if you're, like, in a professional, like, if I'm, like, at work, that paycheck was so skibbity, like, I'm not going to say that. But, like, with your friends, if I, like, say something brain rot to be funny, and you're like oh, that's not.
Like, bro,
are you kidding me? Learn to laugh a little.
Have a little fun sometimes.
That goes along with, like, thinking everything is cringe. No, I will understand there are some things that are legit cringe, but, like, honestly, not everything.
I think, like, if every word you're saying is brain rot, then that's too much. It hits a point. But every now and again saying, oh my god, that was so skibbity. Like,
yeah, come on.
Can we normalize it?
Like, we do need to normalize that.
Like,
because that's actually fun. It's fun. We have a good time.
Every generation has their slang.
Exactly. Ours is just a little off, but it's
a little odd.
But it works. Our generation is not like other generations.
Out a big out. TikTok. Ah!
Okay, wait, were you?
Because it got banned.
Were you never on TikTok?
I was never on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us will say our thoughts on the TikTok ban, but it's a little funny.
Yes.
And some of y'all, okay, I fully believe this. If you were one of those people in the 15-hour ban that was like, that was the most boring 15 hours of my life. It was overnight. Like, go to sleep. It was back by morning.
I will say though, the one thing, okay, this is something that needs to be an out for 2025. The people, like, I can totally respect not having social media.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thinking you're better?
Do you want a cookie? Oh my goodness.
Let me just clap and raise you into the air.
It's different being like you ask someone like, oh, do you have an Instagram? And they're like, oh, no, I prefer not to have it. That's different. That's like, I get it. Yeah, you don't want to have Instagram.
You're like, no.
But the people who are like,
I don't do that stuff.
Oh my, I don't, social media, you're so much better without it. I do understand social media has ruined some things and like you can be genuinely addicted to it. But like, first of all, that's not always the case for one thing. But also, you don't want to have social media. That's fine. Props to you.
Also, can we talk about that 10:30 p.m. hard cut off?
Not
even waiting till 12 a.m. is
not
crazy.
even the 19th.
My Shayla. Literally.
Actually, another out for 2025. This is for like this went along with like the punctuality thing, like that being an in. Being late, like insanely late to some hangouts, absolutely out.
Okay, I understand if something
and
comes
I was
up
like,
and you have something crazy going on.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But if you have no excuse, be on time.
There are so many other things that have happened to me this past year where I'm like, people have been late that I'm like, there is such, like, there's an extent where I'm like, something can come up that's totally fine, but like, people understand that being like too late, genuinely rude. A few minutes, I will not care.
A few minutes, even 10 minutes, okay.
I actually won't care.
But like an hour?
Like 45 minutes to an hour, are you kidding me?
Like, what were you doing?
Like,
and like,
did you just forget this was happening?
We're not calling someone out. We're not calling anyone who's listening. We're not calling you out. But there's an extent.
There's an extent.
We're just giving some advice.
Exactly.
And you
just to keep your relationships, your friendships going and thriving. Be punctual.
Be punctual.
Yeah.
And that's also like a very important thing in the workforce. So,
me and Libby were just talking about this. Situationships.
Yes.
Actually, this is my opinion on situationships. I was telling Libby about this. All we did was normalize not committing to somebody. Like, we were talking about like someone being like, I'm in like a 6-year situationship.
The way we please challenge.
That's a relationship. Like, I think because me and Libby were having this conversation. Like, that
would drive me crazy.
There's a talking stage.
Yeah, for sure.
You can take things. I'm all for taking things slow.
Me too.
Take things slow.
Yes.
You don't even have to put a label on it yet.
It's actually better if you take it slow.
Obviously better if you take it slow. But if you are doing relationship things,
put a label.
Put a label on it.
You don't have to put a label on the relationship exactly, but just talk about like, is this a relationship?
Yes. And establish is it going somewhere?
Yes. Before you waste your time on a situation.
Before you waste your time. Because
so out.
And even like
I'm not built for that.
Having a roster, I think that should be out too. Because I'm like, then
it's not impressive.
It's not cute. It is not impressive. Is that Malad?
That is Malad. Malad is calling me. Shout out Malad.
Shout out Malad.
Malad, I can't answer your call.
We can't pick up the phone right now, but like,
I love you so much. He probably wants to get dinner.
Oh, love you, Malad.
Love you, Malad.
Hope everything's okay. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll call you back.
Yeah, but we want to acknowledge we see you. You're there.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. But yeah. So no, situationships are so out. Like I don't know why we ever decided that should be a thing.
No. Because who came up with that? Why is there even a term for that?
That came up in like 2019, 2020, I think. That's insane to me.
I hate it.
Like, why have you been having a situationship for this long? Like, oh my gosh, I hate both. Are you okay?
Oh, for the viewers.
Our friend Livy literally
Livy just stood up on her bed, walked across it, fell off the side, and landed on her desk.
It was but it actually was the most graceful. Like, it was the most graceful fall I've ever seen. It was like an angel falling.
Malad, you're on the podcast.
I'm on the podcast right now. Hi, podcast.
Hi, Malad.
What's currently going on?
We're talking about the ins and outs of 2025.
Wait, we just said that.
Ins and outs of what?
2025.
We just said.
2025.
We just said that like.
That's what's in?
Drugs. I'm sorry. And she runs.
I'm sorry.
Flee. Anyways, guys.
So sorry for the interruption.
That was just really.
You're gonna hear a lot more about them later.
Yeah,
they'll have so much to say on this podcast. We love them.
Yeah, we're big yappers, especially when we're in a group.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that we could discuss. But I mean, you should know we're gonna we'll release episodes every Friday.
Every Friday, tune in.
Yep.
Keep up with our Instagram. So if we can't post on a Friday, we'll let you guys know.
And Spotify.
And on Spotify.
Yes.
Follow us there if you're listening on
Probably YouTube too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfiltered. Everything is going to be called Unfiltered, period.
The
podcast.
With a period at the end. Unfiltered, period.
So find us Instagram, Spotify.
Yep.
And YouTube.
Ooh, also, please, submit questions and topics that you want to, or, your experiences or, embarrassing things that we could talk about.
Yeah, we want to start a segment. We're starting a new segment called Unfiltered by You.
Yes.
Feel free to DM us, or we'll post stuff on our Instagram stories, so keep up with that. You can send in your stories anonymously.
Yep.
And we'll share it to the audience.
Yep. We'll start the podcast.
Tell us your confessions. Give us
Oh my gosh, yeah, confessions.
And we'll rank your confessions.
It's also so much easier to talk about y'all stuff than
our
own stuff, so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, tune in every Friday on all platforms.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you
if
so much
got
for listening.
This far. Thank you so much.
Thank you for staying this long.
Really, our track has been crazy.
Yeah. This has been Unfiltered.
This has been Unfiltered with your hosts,
Sadie
and Kaitlyn, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye, baddies.